Understandably, the WA Liberals are disappointed in last night's results. We were obviously anticipating a better outcome for the WA Liberal Party. And while there was the overall result is understandably disappointing, there have been some gains and in some seats a double-digit swing towards us. There is no doubt the Parliament going forward will see a more resourced opposition, and while we are yet to see what the real outcomes are in seats, and we're yet to see how those seats will fall, there is no doubt in terms of number it will be more significant. In experience as well, we can look forward to seeing candidates with a range of different experience and background join us in the Liberal Party going forward as well. There was a tremendous effort by Liberal Party candidates right across the board, and I thank them for the hard work that they have undertaken over several months. I've always stated that it was going to be a David and Goliath battle in terms of resources, and it is quite clear that we have certainly been challenged by that. There are obviously some lessons that we will be taking going forward, and we will start working straight away to learn from that, to continue to listen to the people of Western Australia and focus on the 2029 election.
Are you hopeful of remaining leader going forward? There's obviously a lot of talk about it.
Yeah, look, in terms of leadership, I will be talking to my colleagues. There is no doubt leadership speculation at the beginning of the campaign had a destabilising effect. When those matters were put to bed, we had some clear air. Whoever the leader is going into the 2029 election, they need 4 years to work as a leader, to build momentum in the community, and to have the support of the Liberal Party going forward as well.
Do you hope that will be you?
Oh, look, as I stated, I will talk to my colleagues. It is important that the leader has the support of the Liberal Party team, and it is important that whoever the leader is going forward is the leader going into the 2029 election. And it is important that my colleagues make that decision. We don't know who all of my parliamentary colleagues actually are yet, so this will take some time. It is an important decision to make, and it is important, whoever the leader of the Liberal Party is, that the Parliamentary Liberal Party, the Liberal Party more broadly, gets behind that leader and supports them for the best interests of Western Australia in the lead up to the 2029 election.
Will you put the leadership to a vote under the new party room? I'm trying to read between the lines here. Will you test the leadership given the new MPs coming in?
Look, that is yet to be determined. What we need to see, is so that's yet to be determined. I will speak to my colleagues. The most important thing going forwards, what is most important in terms of the Liberal leadership going forwards, is that they have the support of the party room and the Liberal Party, and that they have confidence in going into the 2029 election to give us the best possible chance of forming government in 2029.
Jane, worried about your leadership?
I'm not worried at all. This is not about me. This is about the people of Western Australia. This is about ensuring that the Liberal Party has the best chance of forming government, and this is about ensuring that whoever the leader is has the support of the Liberal Party and has the best chance at the 2029 election, has 4 years to build momentum, to work with the Western Australian community, to work with the parliamentary colleagues as well.
You've spoken about how difficult it has been to be leader for the last 2 years. Would you be prepared to serve as leader for the next 4 years if your party backs you in?
The leadership position has been a privilege, and it's certainly not about me. It's the position of leader of, even if you are the leader of the second party, it's actually a very privileged position to be in, and it is important that we make the right decision on the leadership.
But if your colleagues ask you to do it, would you do it for the next 4 years?
Well, it is actually. Well, I would, but it is important that there is genuine support for that position. And what we can't afford is to have somebody in that position who is holding it for a temporary period of time, only to hand it over in the last 2 years to 2029.
Are you resigned to lose?
You've made in the last 4 years that you didn't install a leader who served that full term?
Look, I'm not going to go into too much commentary in relation to this, but what we need to do as a party, and what I believe we are all committed to doing, is ensuring that we're putting ourselves in the best possible position for the 2029 election. And the work starts today on that. It is about having an honest conversation with the people of Western Australia and working with the Liberal Party in good faith about how we rebuild going forward.
Shane Love said yesterday that it's clear the Nationals and the Liberals need to work a bit better together in order to take out Labor in 2029. Do you see that as a path the Liberals will look to take as well, have a bit more of a...
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of lessons that can be learnt. I believe that we have worked relatively well in opposition, as we have previously in government, but there are a range of lessons to be learnt here. But there are a range of gains that we have made too. I talked about the David and Goliath battle we had, and the fact that we have seen, there's been a significant swing against the Cook Labor government. We have not been able to capitalise on that as good as we could have. But this is about, the opportunity here for the Liberal Party is to, as quickly as possible, regain and learn from this and ensure we are in the best possible position to contest the 2029 election going forward on behalf of the people of Western Australia.
Was it a mistake, though, in the last term not signing an agreement with the Nationals to form a coalition? So these three-cornered contests where you're fighting each other disappeared? There is a lot of consideration that we will be making in relation to those matters, and there is no doubt that working closer with the National Party would only be, a positive. But we have cooperatively worked together over the last 4 years, and I know and I understand Labor have made much of made an issue out of this, but we have also worked very well together. There's nothing unique about bringing different policies to an election. We have always done that. We've also preferenced each other as well, and there has been a lot of cooperation. But we must build from here. We must learn and take lessons on behalf of the people of WA to ensure that we are in the best possible position to be as competitive as we can be for 2029. Just on the campaign itself, a lot of people publicly and privately have praised your effort and the work you did in the campaign, but have reflected that others may not have worked hard in the Liberal Party. Will you set up to fail ahead of this election? Oh, I don't believe so. I think that, across the Liberal Party, the intention has been for us to, to attain as many seats as possible and even form government. The interpretation of the way in which you do that has differed, but what I would say going forward is we just need to look forward and look at what are the lessons that we can learn, who is the best person to lead the charge going forward, who will be the leader of the Liberal Party for 2029, and that person needs to be the leader that is selected by the Parliamentary Liberal Party once we have that party nominated.
If your Liberal candidates make the party suffer in terms of comments like a welcome to country, those sorts of things?
Oh, look, look. In terms of our candidates, we have had candidates with a broad range of experience. They haven't been political staffers and they haven't been from the union movement. They've come from all walks of life, and they've put a significant amount of hours and days and work and months into running an election campaign. And I commend our candidates for the incredible effort that they have undertaken on behalf of the people of Western Australia over several months. They've worked incredibly hard, knocking on doors and speaking to the public and putting forward what they believe is a vision for a better future for WA. But it's an incredible battle. I've always stated it has been a David and Goliath battle. We have not had the same resources as Labor. Labor have experienced a significant swing against them, but we have not been able to attain, obviously, the seats that we would have liked to have.
You said you don't want to go into too much detail about perhaps what went wrong until you get a chance to meet as a party, but do you think your stance on standing in front of the Aboriginal flag may have impacted the result in any way? Do you regret?
No, I look, this is a time of reflection, but I would not say that that is an issue that has come up significantly throughout the campaign. I know media have asked me many questions about it, but yeah, look, it's in terms of issues. I think that what we have, the issues that we have raised, the priorities that we've raised in terms of cost of living and health and housing have been issues that have been raised with me directly and with our candidates directly across the board. But of course, we will, look at the campaign and take lessons from it.
Speeches last night, yourself and the Premier standing up pretty much at the same time. Do you know what went wrong there? Was it timing, communication?
No, I don't think it was deliberate. I think.
Are you concerned that South Perth, Scarborough, Hillary, and all the sort of the crown, very safe Liberal crown jewel Liberal seats, it's not lost once but twice? Will you ever win it back? Do you believe whoever takes on, will ever have the opportunity to get it back?
Of course we will win them back. Not only have we attained additional seats and experience into Parliament, but we have a number of seats which are now within reach for 2029. So while the outcome has been devastating, we will see a great number of candidates come into Parliament, and there are a number of key seats which will now be within reach.
You seem resigned this morning that you might not be the leader the Liberal Party chooses in the next couple of weeks. How does that sit with you?
Oh, well, look, ultimately this is a decision of the Parliamentary Liberal Party, and what I want to ensure is that whoever that leader is, they are the leader in the lead up to the 2029 election. This cannot be about me. This is about ensuring that that leader, whoever it is, has clear air in the lead up to the 2029 election. That is what the Liberal Party needs. That's what the people of Western Australia needs.
Should it be Basil's employees?
Look, I'm not going to go into that. It's a matter for my colleagues.
This has been described as a bit of a presidential campaign between you and Roger Cook. Do you accept any responsibility for the result of the Liberals?
Oh, of course I do. I'm the leader of the Liberal Party. I have to accept responsibility for the outcome. There are a number of factors, but ultimately, the buck stops with the leader, and we, as a broader Liberal Party, will take many lessons from this. But
This is the third election in a row where you've had that message. We need to take lessons from this. We need to learn. Do you have any confidence that this is the one where the penny will drop and things will change?
well, we still have made gains. There has been a significant swing against the government. We will see a number of new members of Parliament come in, and there's a number of seats which are now within striking distance. We knew it was a David and Goliath battle. We knew there was a mountain to climb, and we have not got as far up that mountain as we anticipated, but we are in a better position for 2029. It is now our job to ensure we don't waste a moment in ensuring that we are the best possible team for the Liberal Party and, importantly, to the people of Western Australia for that election.
Why do you think that swing against Labor cemented so much and that the Liberals didn't get back as much as they
Oh, look, thanks, Jimmy. I'm sure many commentators will analyse it. There's obviously a number of factors, but it has been a significant challenge for us. We just have to take stock and learn from it.
Does the Liberal Party need to nominate some new heartlands after tonight?
We will obviously take stock of what has happened, and we will continue the rebuild.
What you have spoken about the lessons you've needed to learn early in your speech. What are those lessons that are abundantly clear to you right now that need to be learned by the Liberal Party?
Well, look, there are obviously a number, and we will take stock of that over the coming days. Today's not the time to dissect that. We will, as a team, be obviously looking at the results and looking at the campaign. But what I would say is that, we obviously see the result as very disappointing. There has been some gains in terms of new members of Parliament and also the experience that we will be bringing into Parliament, a number of seats that are now within reach.
What are those seats that are now within reach? You're a long-standing political figure. What are those seats you think the Liberal Party have a better shot at in 2029?
I'm not going to look. You will be able to see it through the margins, and I'm not going to single seats out. But there are obviously a number of seats that we anticipated being able to attain that we were unable to.
You spoke about a rebuild. What does that look like, and what happens now?
Well, for now, we will be looking at what the final results and looking at what that parliamentary team will look like. We will obviously be, getting out and about and talking to the people of WA. This is about best representing the Liberal Party and an alternative government for the people of Western Australia, and ensuring that we represent a better alternative government.
Was the messaging wrong? Was the narrative that you were presenting to Western Australians wrong, given the result?
Look, there is no doubt that many people across WA are not feeling the benefits of the boom. There is no doubt that while Roger Cook has enjoyed the largest boom our state has ever seen, Western Australians have done it incredibly tough in
But they
terms
just
of.
re-elected overwhelmingly the Labor government, so surely
Yeah.
that messaging wasn't spot on. That there weren't as many people as you were talking about that were not feeling the pressures of the boom.
Well, we will look at that. It is also a question of to what extent we were able to get that message across as well.
So it's not just the messaging, but the inability to get it across is what concerns you.
Well, that is something we will look at. But, it is not my role today to commentate on the election. I can only reflect on the fact that the result was disappointing. There has been some gains. We will take lessons from the overall outcome, and in terms of what the path going forward, it's important that the leader of the Liberal Party, whoever that may be, has clear air.
What can the Liberal Party do to ensure whoever becomes the leader, whether it's you or anyone else, that will be a 4-year commitment to the party, that he will stick all the way, that he or she will stick all the way to the end and won't be quitting halfway and then suddenly change it again?
Well,
Any
you
measures
just
coming
need.
up? Any contracts? To make sure that's there?
It's just a matter of having somebody with that clear commitment.
And how are you going to look for that?
I think I've made it very clear what I believe the expectation is.
Why do you think the party was able to at least come close, if not win a seat like Kalamunda, that's 16% swing, but really struggling in Churchill, those margins?
Oh, look, there's a number of factors, and I'm not going to be a commentator on the results, but that's not to say that we're not, obviously looking at the seats and how they have
Are they
sat.
signs that it was local campaigns that won those seats rather than strong effort statewide by you and the leadership team?
Look, every electorate is very different. What I would say is our candidates have worked extremely hard on the ground, and there are a number of factors across a range of seats, and we are yet to see the overall outcome of seats across the board.
Said last night that the Liberal Party wasn't listening enough.
Well, look, I'm sure he's right. I'm sure there are many lessons to be learnt.
You've spoken about now is the time for reflection. There's a lot of
Yep.
things to think about. What are you personally reflecting on as leader at the moment, and how do you shoulder the loss emotionally?
Oh, look, it's about looking forwards. It's about looking at looking at the gains that we did make and why we didn't make gains in areas that we anticipated that we should have. And it is about what can we do as a party to put us in the best possible position going forward. And, there's no individual in that. It's about looking at the best best outcomes for the people of WA.
How you saw these numbers coming in last night,
Yep.
it was clear early on it wasn't going to be.
Sorry. Yep.
How did that feel?
Look, the overall result is obviously extraordinarily disappointing for the Liberal Party, but more broadly as well. I think.
It must be hard for you personally, how much you've put into this campaign.
Yeah, but look, it's you've got to be, I believe.
And we've got a guide.
What I have believed to be the best interests of the state. I will continue to do that, and I will continue to serve the Liberal Party in whatever role the Liberal Party believe is in the best interests of our team. Thank you.